to come home a race winner tonight. Here in Laguna Seca, it's Hunter Hughes with the win. And Ian Miller is not going to really care too much because he's going to come across the line as the race winner of the night tonight. What a dominant performance from Ian, a whole lap ahead. Mark Vicars comes over the Fox Factory Bridge, down through turn 12, and he wins here tonight for Wednesday Night Dash. His second race win in a row here. He's going to feel great. The lights are flaring. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the moment we've all been waiting for so many weeks in a row. We are finally here at the finale of Wednesday Night Dash Season 6. Oh my Lanta Laudy. We are here for the championship race presented by Stadium Scene TV at Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. We are obviously here on the road track, the road course, the infield course, for some amazingly fun racing here tonight with our great championship protagonists. I am your host, Eli, and as always, I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. This is going to be about as good of a finale as we could have asked for, as we've got some pretty insane championship scenarios. But before we start talking about the scenarios, let's talk about the track that we got here tonight. We've got the amazing Daytona International Speedway. It is 3.56 miles across 13 turns. The notable turns are obviously the horseshoe at turn 3. It's a surprisingly difficult corner. It's also, you'll hear it known as the International Horseshoe. Surprisingly difficult corner, but those that do master it really get a lot of time out of it. And then obviously the bus stop at turn 10, the bus stop chicane. Harder entry as it is an exit, and there's a big wall that stops you from cutting it. That can end your race if you have brake failure, so a little fun fact there. Obviously, we got a 15-minute open qualifier, which we are almost at the end of, with an 8 times real-time multiplier. So we'll be seeing both day and night conditions here tonight, and I'm really excited to see how the drivers do when the sun goes down. Now, speaking of those drivers, let's take a look at our standings. Like I mentioned, we've got a pretty crazy championship here tonight. We got Mark Vicars coming into the race with the lead, with Ian Miller coming home in second currently, and Hunter Hughes sitting in third currently. The rest of the drivers are all out of the championship. Let's give them some love. It's Brian McKinney in fourth, Tyler Vickery in fifth, Eric Richardson in sixth, DJ Flick in seventh, Justin Nieves in eighth, Colton Gardner in ninth, Andrew Hewitt still no points. Notice the top 3. They're all highlighted. The way that this works out is absolutely crazy. There is a way that Hunter Hughes actually ends up winning this thing. Hunter needs to win this race, get all 3 bonus points, which would be insane for both a lap led, get the pole bonus, and also get the most laps led. And then he needs to hope that Mark doesn't podium, plus lead a lap, and Ian needs to finish third or worse, plain and simple. So let's see if any of those scenarios actually do happen. Otherwise, the way that Ian wins is he has to win the race. He will win the championship. And if Mark wins the race, he wins the championship. No bonus, points can save either one of them, as they're only 4 points away from each other going into this race. It's so crazy how tight this thing is, and I'm so excited to see how this is going to work out. We've obviously got a little spreadsheet ready to go just in case we do have some crazy standings. So, yeah, it's going to be a really good time. Now, obviously, we got to take a look and give some love to our friends over at House of Hockey. Those guys are obviously here for another phenomenal week this week. Oopsies. Sorry, it looks like it didn't change. On this week of House of Hockey, Breezy and Ray discuss the Las Vegas Golden Knights' first ever Stanley Cup win and why the emotional reaction to them winning was different than other teams in the past. Hint, it's because they've only been in the NHL for 6 years. Team captain Mark Stone noted a hat trick in the clinching game, which is first since 1922. They share top highlights from the parade down the Vegas Strip, game-winning heart photos, and Wild Bill's speech. It starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow on Stadium TV. You do not want to miss it. And speaking of what you don't want to miss, we don't want to miss this racing action here we've got tonight, and we've already got our drivers getting ready to go out there and put their heart and soul on the line for some racing. We got our drivers here on the grid, and we have Hunter Hughes putting it down on pole. Congratulations to Hunter Hughes. He needed that That is exactly what he needed, actually, because he needs to get all 3 bonus points. And with Hunter Hughes coming home in pole position, with Ian Miller sitting in second by 1/10 of a second, and then Mark Vicars off by about a half a second. Michael Moore in 4th. New driver tonight. Hello, Michael Moore. Tyler Vickery in 5th. Eric Richardson in 6th. And Brian McKinney holding down 7th. That's how our qualifying finished out. That is as perfect as it could possibly get for Hunter Hughes. His championship is definitely still possible at this moment. Remember, he needs to get all 3 bonus points, as in have his pole bonus, get a lap lead, and lead the most laps, as well as, I believe, win the whole thing to be able to get this championship for sure in the bag. There are obviously some other permutations that will happen, you know, if other people don't, you know, podium and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see exactly how that works. But it's going to be a blast. That I can guarantee. We got, obviously, a great lineup of 7 drivers here tonight to go and give us a good time. Congratulations to Hunter Hughes in your pole position. Great way to start off the race tonight. You're going to need that luck, I'm sure, to close this thing out. But at the same time, he's got the skill to back up that luck. Let's see what he's got going here tonight. Holy smokes. I get excited for racing, obviously. But this one, I'm really excited for. This is going to be as tight as we can ask for. I just can't believe that it's all come down to this. That's crazy. They're rounding the final corner, getting ready. Their engines are fired up. We got a Porsche for Hunter Hughes, a Mercedes for Ian Miller, a Ferrari for Mark Vicars, a Ferrari for Michael Moore, a BMW for Tyler Vickery, a Ferrari for Eric Richardson, and Brian McKinney holds this down in the Ferrari as well. Lots of Ferraris here tonight. A few Mercedes and a few Porsches, and a single BMW. We're about to go racing here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as they're coming down the backstretch. Get ready to watch them go racing. Green lights will come out soon. And they are there. We got a good launch from Hunter Hughes and a really good launch from the inside car. It looks like an Ian Miller. Phenomenal. No, it's actually Mark Vicars, who got a really good snap on Ian Miller going into turn 1. He's going to be on the inside line. Who's going to be the late to break? It's going to be really tight through turn 1. They're almost going to get door banging action. But already the Mercedes is pushed to the back of Ian Miller. He's sitting in 3rd now. 1st still held down by Hunter Hughes. 2nd to Mark Vicars. Whoa, what an interesting start. Oh my gosh, he caught me off guard. How about a dive right there from the Mercedes? Wow, Ian Miller is absolutely not having any of it tonight. He says, no, give me that 2nd place back. And he threw himself back up in front of Mark Vicars going into turn 3 right there, the International Horseshoe. You got a little bit of battle right behind it. Looks like a Ferrari making a potential move. And the BMW of Tyler Vickery goes way wide, uses the escape road. He does not hit the grass, though, so his car stays alive so he can thrive. There is a Ferrari going off in the middle of the track. It looks like it is Brian McKinney in the DeWalt Tools Ferrari. Now, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd held by our championship protagonists. 1st held by the one who needs the points the most. It's Hunter Hughes sitting in the lead. Ian Miller sitting in 2nd, and Mark Vicars in 3rd. The snake has formed. The top 4 are away. Michael Moore making up the back of that top 4 right there. Hanging on his first race here tonight, having a good time. And I'm right behind them, the 5th, 6th, and 7th place cars of Tyler Vickery, Eric Richardson, and Brian McKinney, a little bit far out of the pace right now. Obviously, they're going to just kind of settle in, let the race start coming to them. I don't know that they don't need to push super hard quite yet. They can just chillax, as you know. Qualifying was pretty close, so we'll see how the rest of this race pans out. But as of right now, the gaps at the top 4 are all nice and tight. Ian Miller actually a full 2nd out from the lead, but outside of that, that's about it. That's the only big one. Michael Moore, will he decide to make any sort of early moves? I do not think so. I think he's going to be really more so on the conservative side. He's driving, not looking to make any unforced errors, which is definitely the smart move, you know, in my opinion. Ian Miller losing a little bit of touch from Hunter Hughes. Hunter Hughes already has led a lap, so we're going to go ahead and give him his 1 point in his point calculation. So Hunter Hughes, congratulations. He needs that. Oh. Don't really know why. But, interesting. That's why, because I'm a silly person. All right, no worries. We're done taking a look at our points prediction thing. We're gonna take a look at the racing that's going on right in front of us, because we got to give these protagonists some love. This is going to be a pretty tight race to the finish. I can already see that none of these drivers are going to want to give up any positions if they don't have to. They're almost certainly going to be pushing to the absolute max as much as they can to hold on to their positions wherever they see possible. And then the person holding on the best is obviously Hunter Hughes, holding down the lead. He's doing a great job. Now, outside of 4th place, 5th, 6th, and 7th are all kind of gapping out pretty far. The top 3, though, you can see they're all right up on each other. The gap is nowhere near big enough to even consider really paying attention to. It's all just a half a second or so between the top 3. That's close. And I heard that we've saved one of these drivers' best tracks to the very end. Oh my gosh, Ian Miller looking at a potential move into turn 1. Hold on a second, it might be done actually. Not potential, he's trying to barge his way through. Hunter Hughes wants to knock in the space. Hunter Hughes gets pushed off of the grass. He's gonna be hard to slow down. It's gonna be really hard to slow down. Tries his best to not hit anybody. Hunter Hughes maybe totally out of this thing. Oh my gosh. Can he get back on track without spinning it? Looks like he can. But he gets back on track nice and slow and easy. Hunter Hughes! That is the definition of what you don't want to see. That could be the championship gone for Hunter Hughes. But you never know what could happen up at the front right here, as Ian Miller and Mark Vicars now have to scrap it out for a win. Because whichever of these two wins this race tonight will win the whole thing. Now, will that cause another incident? I'm not too sure. We got to take a look and see exactly what happened here on their way out of turn 2. Let's take a look at this from a far chase perspective. We got the Mercedes going up the inside. Fair play right here. Fair play right here. Hunter Hughes gives him the space. Mercedes runs him all the way out of road. Oh, there's a little bit of a bump right there. I think Hunter Hughes may have actually closed in on him just a little bit. And, yeah, it looks like right here. Yeah, the road on the left side ran out of there's nowhere for him to go on the left side, and Hunter Hughes bumps him for his troubles. That's really unfortunate. Lucky for Hunter Hughes to not collect him on his way back into the track. So that was great racecraft and awareness right there for Hunter Hughes to stay out of a potential collision. Now, obviously, though, he sits at the second to last place position right here, right behind Eric Richardson. He's gonna want to get in front of him as quick as he can. It's really unfortunate because right now he, has the fastest lap of the race. He's way down at near the back. Up in front, it's Ian Miller and Mark Vicars. They're getting tasty again. Mark Vicars thought about making a dive into International Horseshoe. Decides to opt for a better exit. Smart move from him. The exit is not quite as good as he needs to get in front of that Mercedes. Mercedes stays in the lead. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, how the turntables. Mercedes gets a dive into turn number 8. Sorry, turn number 5, excuse me. And Mark Vicars a little bit later on the brake, actually, into turn 9. Not turn 9 right there. The exit right there is definitely very tricky. You can easily lose the rear end coming out of turn 9. So it's good on both of them to be able to hold it down, and they seem to be pretty locked in, pretty steady. See Ian Miller. And from this camera angle, you can't really see anything except for his car, as he is just kind of a little bit clear and ahead of everybody else right now. But now you can see the closing speed of the Ferrari coming up into that bus stop chicane. Who's better on the exit? The exit of the bus stop chicane is hugely crucial, as you got a gigantor straight right after it. So whoever ends up having the better exit is really going to have a pretty massive advantage going into turn 1. It makes a very big difference. Ian Miller, though, still holding down the lead. Right behind them, we got the 24 car of Tyler Vickery, having a little bit of fun with Michael Moore. They're battled out for 3rd place right now, keeping it nice and tight and tidy. Looks like Hunter Hughes has made his way in front of Eric Richardson as well, a little bit farther back, so he's good. Tyler Vickery looking for a switchback going out of turn 1 into turn 2. Oh, might have it right there. No, not quite. Going to have the slip into turn 3. Will he be late on the brakes? Looks like he's going to go for it. Big dive from Tyler Vickery. All the space left to him by the Ferrari behind. Ferrari looking to switch back on him into turn 4. Not going to happen. This left-handed kink is turn 4 right here. And then deep, sorry, it's turn 5 right there. And then we got a turn right here at turn 6. Big, opening, widening hairpin. Very awkward exit right there, too. You want to use some of that outside curbing, but if you do use too much of it, you're going to slip. So these drivers have to be careful about exactly how much they're going to use. Back in front, Ian Miller, Mark Vicars, still neck and neck. Less than a second separates the two. In fact, it's just about half a second between these two drivers. Hunter Hughes and Eric Richardson farther down. They're starting to gap out a little bit. Hunter Hughes starting to catch up to Michael Moore. Hunter Hughes may have actually gotten in front of Michael Moore. Hold on a second. Michael Moore had to go off track. Oh, Hunter Hughes did get in front of him. I bet you it was one of those slow spin outs coming out of turn 7, like I mentioned. Look at this. Yep. Told you. Said coming out of turn 7, it can get a little bit awkward to get on the power, and there it goes. And it's just all she wrote. Sometimes that's simple. Michael Moore now, unfortunately, relegated to the second to last position at this current moment. Decently far away from the pack. Back in the 16 car of Hunter Hughes, the blue Porsche. The man who needs to lead some laps, but has not yet had the luck to do so. Ian Miller, Mark Vicars fighting it out still to turn 1. Mark Vicars went so wide into turn 1. Maybe a little bit too late on the brakes. He's going to lose a lot of time for that one. 6 laps into this race, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit more than 10 minutes, or a little bit less than 10 minutes into this race. So far, it's been tasty. We've already had a little bit of a collision. And it's only got more to go. As of right now, this man, though, Ian Miller, is looking like the potential favorite to take home the championship tonight. Will he be able to catch or, hold the ice in his hands and finish this one out in style, or is he going to find a snafu at some point? We shall find out. It looks like he's getting a little bit squirrely coming out in the corner, too, so he's got to be careful as the race progresses. Go on the 54 car, Michael Moore. I know he's going to want to try to make up some time. It looks like he has the best, or the fastest lap. No, he does not have the fastest lap. Fastest lap right now is held by Mark Vicars at a 46.1. It's a good lap for Mark Vicars. What's surprising is Hunter Hughes' best lap is a 47.1. So surprised he hasn't been able to put down any more, competitive at the time. Looks like he just hasn't been able to get it done. Back on Ian Miller and Mark Vicars at the front. Stonking down. It's turn 1. Both drivers far away enough from each other now to the point that they feel comfortable taking the ideal line through all these corners, which means that the gap may stay about what it is right here for a little while longer until one of them makes a mistake. They're both, they have the space to be able to have the faith that the other person will hit their marks, and they have enough time to react to it if they didn't. So they should be just A-okay as of where it is right here. A little wide, but no worries for Ian Miller. He's just fine. Seems like the gap, though, between himself and Mark Vicars is closing just a little bit. Mark Vicars is just under a second out from Ian Miller. If he was about half a second out, the slipstream effect is pretty gnarly here if you have a good setup. So that could be what he would need. I have a feeling if he can get within half a second on the exit of a corner, I think he can make the pass. Here is not going to the time. He's about 7/10 out. Might even have to be closer than half a second. We shall see. So unfortunate for Hunter Hughes. His race was going so well to the start, the first couple laps, and then just for it to all go wrong a few laps in. Just not all what you want to see. Ian Miller on defense right here for Mark Vicars. Mark Vicars, like I said, if he gets a good exit out of one of these corners, it could be all she wrote for Ian Miller. Whoa, what an exit right there for Mark Vicars. Really pushing, he is. He's going for it. Mark Vicars knows it's not time for a dive quite yet, but it is time to keep putting on the pressure. Look at the gaps and how quickly it's closing. Oh my Lanta Laudy. He's getting a little bit on the grass, is Mark Vicars. They break even here, they do. No collision into turn 5, 6. Good so far. These two are right on each other. I love this. Right now, the best lap of the race is held by Mark Vicars, who's put down a 45.775. That's a heater of a lap. That's a good lap. Wow. Once again, it's Mark Vicars. Hold on a second. What a really good launch right there that was for Mark Vicars out of the bus stop. It didn't look quite so good from that first angle that I saw, but now that I see how close he is, it just might be a move on right here for Mark Vicars. Mark Vicars looking for the outside line. Going into turn 1. That's very brave. Very, very, very brave to take the outside line. Last time somebody took an outside line against Ian Miller, they got up into the grass. Then again, I think that may have been their own fault. Again, big deep dive into turn 1. Looks like Ian Miller is going to have to take a hardcore commit. Goes super wide. Might lose a lot of time. Mark Vicars is going to switch underneath him. Mark Vicars. What a stunning move for him. And now Mark Vicars leads the race, but it's only just, whoopsies, Mark Vicars and Ian Miller still right next to each other side by side. They're going to be going into turn 5 side by side. This is crazy talk. Whoa, the absolute goals on the two of them. Oh! That's the Mercedes gone. Mercedes into the dirt. Oh no, that was a huge commit for Ian Miller. And he is towing back to the pits. I don't know why Ian Miller went for that one. Mark and Ian were just fine, but Ian was on the outside line. He did not slow down. Mark did. And Ian paid the price, caught the grass, and then caught a tire wall. Let's take a look at that one from his point of view. I know he's not going to be happy to look at this. So I hope he's not watching this replay. Let's take a look at this from the far chase. You can see closing in. Ian Miller's got the outside line here. And the outside line, you also need to back out a little bit. You cannot go full speed. You see right here, Mark Vicars has decided to relent a little bit of speed. Yeah, you can see he really did decide to relent a little bit of speed, but Ian Miller kept it pinned to the floor and did not lift. Then again, it is hard to lift there too, because if you do lift, you run the risk of lifting up your rear end a little bit too much and causing some spin as well. But right here, it's going to be onto the grass, and he's done. He can't recover it right there, and the spin starts. And as soon as you're onto that grass, you are on ice. He goes at the wall, full force, huge smack. Car lifts up, front bumper's gone, left rear wheel is actually detached from the car, and he's out. Oh my gosh. Wow. We've already had 2 crashes so far within the top 3 drivers. And as of right now, if Mark Vicars can just chillax and bring this thing on home, he should be able to get this championship. However, it is definitely not over yet. If Hunter Hughes finds some pace out of nowhere and catches up, looks like about 10 seconds, 11 seconds on the leader of Mark Vicars, then Hunter Hughes is definitely within a shot at this thing still too. Hunter Hughes, though, would have to lead the most laps as well and have Mark Vicars finish way out of the points, effectively. The likelihood of that happening is definitely pretty low. Ian Miller, though, now getting lapped. He is really going to be in a world of hurt. Wow, wow. Wow, I could have called that one coming from a mile away. That was a bit of a little bit too brave of a move right there from Ian Miller. I appreciate the tenacity, though. That was brave. I love that he still sent it and went for it. It is the last race of the season, so if there was ever a time to send it, it would be now. Well, so far, this guy, Mr. Mark Vicars, has run the most consistent season out of all. He's going to come out actually right by the almost lapped car of Ian Miller. Ian Miller will hold the lead off of him, though. I know he's not going to want to give that up. He's going to want to hold him off and not follow blue flags. He doesn't have to, technically. He only has to let him through if he's visibly faster, like very genuinely faster. So that's proper blue flag laws right there. So Ian Miller is more than welcome to hold, you know, this position off of him in constant disruption. It's plenty fair. Little fun fact. Oh, there it is. Mark Vicars just takes the gift. Ian Miller says, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and let you through. And Mark Vicars is now ahead of Ian Miller. He has already lapped him, actually. Ian Miller is about as far out of this thing as it could get. Barring a huge crash that's self-inflicted from Mark Vicars, there's no way that Ian Miller comes back in this thing, I don't think. He might have some phenomenal pace, but that's just otherworldly to get that much, you know, caught back up. So now that we got Mark Vicars holding down the lead, if he just holds this position, no matter what either the other two guys behind him do, he wins this championship. It's plain and simple like that. That's where he's at. Wow. Been a great drive this whole season for him. He's about halfway through the race right here. Almost quite at the halfway part. He's not quite there, but he's almost there. He's just done such a phenomenal job all season long. I think he deserves all the props in the world. Now, the rest of the drivers are all pretty well spread out. Let's go ahead and give some love to Hunter Hughes, who's just on the recovery drive right here. He just put down a great lap last lap, though. He gained 8 tenths on the leader. He gained 3 tenths in the car ahead of him, Tyler Vickery, who is catching up to the leader, actually. Tyler Vickery is technically not really out of this thing, so it may just be, you know, a potentiality win for Tyler Vickery as well. It's definitely on the cards. As I say that, I think he may have just had a mistake. No, he's still good. He's only catching up by a small margin. Yeah, the 16 car of Hunter Hughes is pretty far back. He's 23 seconds behind. My timing screen keeps messing up, but he is 23 seconds behind. It's a big gap. And Tyler Vickery is a few seconds. Oh, Tyler Vickery is actually passing Mark Vicars. Mark Vicars is going ahead and taking his pit right here. He says, hey, I got a cheap stop right now. Let's go ahead and use it. While everybody is out there running laps, we've got Mark Vicars pinning the throttle, and he's out. And there's Hunter Hughes right there as well. Going to go ahead and go in, take that early pit stop, top himself up, and go get after. They're right about the halfway point as well, so that's good timing for it. A little taster right here. Mark Vicars coming out right next to Eric Richardson. I'm curious if Mark Vicars is really pushing. I mean, he's putting down pretty slow laps. He's also going to be, you know, fresh out of a pit stop too, so he'll feel mentally recharged. He can go out there and go get it. Right now, Tyler Vickery does lead the race, but obviously he does still have a pit stop to go into. So the undercut strategy of Mark Vickers, let's see if that is the one that works for him. I mean, right now he's not really covering off too much. He's pretty much got this thing in the bag, assuming there's no self-inflicted errors. I think he knows that. So let's see if he can keep the ice. Back down a little bit. Let's go and give some love to Eric Richardson. He's got a very pretty car today. I like this one, the 13 car. That black, blue, and white. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. In fact, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a livery check. We got Brian McKinney obviously rocking the wonderful DeWalt tool truck Ferrari. We got Eric Richardson in the sweet blue and white. Hunter Hughes in his iconic gold, or like, you know, sky blue Porsche. Tyler Vickery in his BMW with lots of fun logos on it. That black, green, and white. It's a very nice geodesic looking design. We got Ian Miller out there in the Vodafone Mercedes, as always. Michael Moore out there in a brand new Ferrari livery. That looks absolutely gorgeous. And of course, Mark Vickers in his orange Whataburger Ferrari. Makes me want some Whataburger right now. Let's go ahead and give some more love to Michael Moore. Looks like he's in the pits right here. A little bit later for a pit stop than a lot of other people, but he'll be able to fuel up, potentially pop on some new tires and go out there and finish the race easily. Yeah, Michael Moore's in the pits. He is stuck in there. Getting fueled up and ready to go. He was ready to go. That was quick fuel up. Right now, Michael Moore is only just a couple seconds away from Hunter Hughes. The gap is definitely closing between the two of them. Yeah, there's Hunter Hughes.
Damn, my pit strategy was
Michael Moore right behind.
A lap early.
Michael Moore looking to lap Hunter Hughes.
Yeah, but your fixed setups are garbage anyways, no matter what car I choose. No matter what car I practice on, I couldn't get any top line speed at all. Like the BMW, the whole front end is like...
Sounds like we're hearing some complaints, some comments from the drivers, especially as we're starting to get closer to nighttime. We got 17 minutes left of the race. We'll have a little bit of nighttime racing, just a few laps. And I'm wondering if that's going to cause any kerfuffles. Tyler Vickery right here. Not too far out for Mark Vickers. Mark Vickers has been putting up some all right lap times, but not the best ones. Tyler Vickery, now that he's come out of the pits, is only 1.8 seconds behind. So this 2-second gap is very short. It's very small. That can be closed up in just a couple laps easily. Even though Tyler does say that he's struggling with front end grip, seems like he's not struggling as much as the current race leader. So we shall find out if that's really true, or if that's maybe him playing some head games to try to get Mark Vicars to chillax a little bit. I don't think it's going to work, but it could be what he's doing. You never know, right? Tyler Vickery chasing down that elusive race win for the season. Behind it's Hunter Hughes and Michael Moore. Hunter Hughes trying to lap Michael Moore. They're right on each other. The headlights are on, so it's definitely starting to get to the business end of the race here tonight. I'm curious, are we going to see any more hardcore aggressive moves from either the Mercedes or the Porsche of Ian Miller or Hunter Hughes? That Porsche flying down let's try to finish straight. Trying to catch up and lap. Mr. Moore. Oh, almost goes right to the back of him, actually. Michael Moore. Not having it. In fact, I just realized Michael Moore is actually on the lead lap. I don't know how I thought he wasn't on the lead lap. Michael Moore is on the lead lap. He's just very far behind on the lead lap. So Michael Moore sits in third right now, and Hunter Hughes actually sits in fourth. Mark Vicars currently sits in the lead, with Tyler Vickery splitting up all three of those, sitting in second. In fact, he's getting really close to potentially even making a move. Really close. This might get tasty. Let's keep an eye on these guys. Look at that. There goes Tyler Vickery down the inside, on his way into the bus stop. Had it done and dusted before the bus stop even happened, so he's through. Mark Vicars sits behind him, says, yeah, go ahead. Not too worried about it. Just lets him through. That is proper endurance racecraft. Oh, hold on a second. The Ferrari is catching up. Really getting close into that nighttime right now. It's hardcore sunset. The sun glare is gone, and now we're just into that cooling track temperature situation with the last 13 minutes of this race to go. Anything could happen here, folks. Anything at all. In fact, there's Hunter Hughes still chasing down Michael Moore, who just will not get out of his way, even though he is a lap car, who refuses to do it. Hunter Hughes holding back. Do we see Hunter Hughes maybe having an inside line here? He's not flashing. I couldn't tell if he was flashing or not. We're definitely into like the full dark moments right now. So now we're at the end of that hot track. It's gotten all cold and cool now. Tyler Vickery though still holding on the lead, but only just. It's tight. If Tyler Vickery and Mark Vicars come into contact, then that could be the race. That could be the championship over for Mark Vicars. So he needs to just relax and stay behind Doesn't need to go for it. Just needs to yeah, hang out and enjoy his spot that he's at right here. I hope that's exactly what he's planning on doing. Because going for it right here would just be a little bit too egregious, I would say. Tyler Vickery still holding it down. Struggling with the front end. Not struggling with the front of the pack. Looking good. Ian Miller still so far out of this thing. He's not going to win tonight. No matter what, Ian Miller's chances are basically gone. Minus an absolute insane moment with both Mark Vicars and Hunter Hughes that puts them way far out of the points. And Ian Miller somehow finds a way to come back up to get within like the top 2. Actually, no, he'd have to win, I think. Yeah, I just don't see it. Get a fight for the lead right here. It's a tight fight, actually. Ferrari had a bit of a tie into turn 1. That was a little bit close. Didn't go for it too hard, but it was definitely close. Looks like Hunter Hughes a little bit further back. Did find his way in front. So Hunter Hughes now sits comfortably in 3rd. 2nd place in Mark Vicars. 1st is Tyler Vickery. If we look at the pace that Hunter Hughes has had tonight to recover, if Mark Vicars would have had an incident at some point and Hunter Hughes would not have gotten caught up in the spot that he did with Ian Miller, this could have been his to take, for sure. All 3 of these drivers had a very reasonable shot at the championship here tonight, but of course it can only go to one person. As of right now, that person's looking like it would be Mark Vicars if it all finishes out as it is. Mark Vicars had a little bit of a sliding moment coming out of turn 7. He held just fine. No flashing going on from either of these drivers. They're being nice and respectful to each other. Nice and respectful to each other. So we got just about 9 minutes left. Early break still from Mark Vicars. Just lets Tyler lead him to victory. Tyler Lugo Vickery. Tyler lead me to victory. That's his name. That's the name change. Look at the tightness between these two. Yeah, Mark Vicars actually really does have a genuine shot right here. He sticks behind. He doesn't care so much about the race win anymore, is what it looks like. He's just caring about the championship, which is the right thing to do. Absolutely, it's the right thing to do. But wow, what an intelligent and, put my desire to win and ego kind of thing aside. That was a smart move right there for Mark Vicars. Just let him hold it up front. No need to pressure. No need at all. Pressure you might, though. Hold on a second. No, early break right there. I was like, oh, you might have to run coming out of that corner. His kink looked pretty good, but no run. This track is home to some of the best racing in all of the United States of America. Oftentimes sports cars just like these, and it's been no exception tonight. It's been so fun to watch all of these drivers go at it against each other to try to grab the title and a race win tonight. As of right now, this could be Tyler Vickery's first race win of the season. That would be absolutely mega. Now, here is the only way that changes. If these two drivers have a collision with each other and Hunter Hughes collects the pieces and comes home in the lead of both of them, and both of these two drivers finish outside the podium, I believe Hunter Hughes would win this thing.
I don't know if I'm going to have enough fuel.
Mark is saying he's not sure about how much fuel he's going to have. He needs to stay behind Tyler Vickery and
a
just
lap early,
catch
man.
the
I'm not good
draft.
at math.
He did pit a little early, so look at him. He's holding the draft. Yep, that's smart. Save some fuel that way. Let's take a bit of a non-ideal line to turn 1 because he was stuck in that draft so hard. But he won't worry about it too much.
BMW understeer. Understeer way worse than the real life car was.
Oh, a potential thought right there for the Ferrari. He decided to once again back it out, but that was almost on.
I guess all that experience being here in the real life race for the 24 hours helped, especially sitting on a sim rig for the whole 24 too.
Very tight between these two in the final couple laps. Tyler Vickery wants his first race win of the season. Mark Vickers just wants to finish tonight's race at this point in this position that he's at. A finish here, like we've said, is a championship. I think as of right now, that's just all he's thinking about. He says, you know what? Just get me on home. I've got 5 minutes and 45 seconds left. If he finishes this one, he'll take his first championship victory in Wednesday Night Dash. I know he'd be stoked for that.
All right, I think I'm safe.
There it is. Still behind. Saving fuel. Look for a duck on the outside. Hold on a second. Is he going to make a move? Going to turn 1. Hold on a second. Is Tyler Vickery going to be vulnerable? Is it going to be a move for Mark Vickers? Oh, he backed out of it. Oh, man. Tyler Vickery goes super wide, though, coming out of turn 1, and he loses the lead with 5 minutes left to go on the dot, basically. Tyler Vickery just absolutely chokes under the potential pressure, and a huge late break causes a loss of a lead. He will still hold down second, but at this point, if Mark Vickers finishes where he's at, there is absolutely nothing anybody can do to say that their championship is theirs. It's all Mark Vickers. Mark Vickers has been so good this season, and tonight's race is no exception. He's played it very smart, very cool, calm, collected, and calculated. He's done an amazing job to bring this one home as of right now. Now, obviously, his championship contenders, Ian Miller and Hunter Hughes, are a little bit far out of this one. Ian Miller, the 48 car, way down in 6th place right here. And Hunter Hughes, the 16 car, sitting in 3rd. Still on the podium after a lap 1 incident, or not lap 1, an early race incident. But he's still pretty far off the top step of that podium, which he would need to be able to clinch this championship. And he would need that and then some. It does not look like it's going to happen tonight for him, which is so unfortunate, but also something that Mark Vickers has absolutely earned for himself. He's had such a dominant season. A great job for him. Oh, I apologize, by the way. I just took a look at my records. It was his 2nd win for Tyler this season. He won at Mid-Ohio. Good track for him, too. Fun undulating course. The track that I kept calling the wrong corner, the wrong name. I remember that one. 5 seconds now separates Mark Vickers and Tyler Vickery. Whoa. Oh, what did happen to Tyler Vickery? Hold on a second. Does it not look slow? What a second. Oh my gosh! Whoa! Tyler Vickery. Down the backstretch. Looking fine. Oh, right there. There's a slow car. Oh my gosh, he has to do his very best to avoid it. He did a good job at avoiding it. No damage? No damage. That is a scary spin. Oh, he hits the wall so hard. He should have hit the brakes. Oh no, he rocked up way up into the wall. Wow. He did such a good job up to that point to avoid the wall. Will he be able to hold down and keep 2nd place at this moment? I think he just might be able to. Hunter Hughes, still a decent ways away. I think about a 20-second-ish gap away from him, so he should be fine. Yeah, Hunter, not quite 20-second gap. It's about like 10 seconds away from Tyler Vickery, but still. Wow. That's scary. That is very scary. We are down to the final little bit of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Vickers right here. Let's come down the final stretch. Take a look at it from his cockpit camera. We'll be able to see the man waving the flag, if it is our time indeed. It is our time indeed. The white flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final lap here for Mark Vickers to clinch this championship he's been fighting for since race number 1 of this season. He's had such a storied championship run this whole season. He's given it everything he's got. And as of right now, it looks like it's all going to be for an amazing result here tonight. He had everything thrown against him throughout this entire season. He's really had to go for it. But I think of all the people this season, Mark Vickers has been the one that we could say deserved it the most. He got his hat trick in the opening 3 rounds to win those 3 in fashion. Double podiums the next 2 rounds after that, and 1 other podium after that. He's been on the podium every single race except for 1 so far, and that was Mid-Ohio when it just went terribly wrong, and we thought that there might be a chance for somebody else. That was silly of us to even doubt this man, because he had a vengeance and a plan post that race. He came back so strong in Rudskogen, and now he's here to close it out in the nighttime around Daytona. He just has a couple more corners to go, and Mark Vickers will be our Season 6 champion here tonight and Wednesday Night Dash. I'm sure the interview is going to be incredible, as it deserves to be. He deserves to be highlighted for all of his achievements. He's done so well to keep his cool during this race. When things were thrown against him, he might have lost that race to Tyler Vickery. He stayed cool. He found his way around. He comes through just a couple more, actually 1 more corner, excuse me. It's a long, sweeping left-hand corner, and he flashed the lights of victory. It's Mark Vickers winning tonight here in Daytona and winning the championship for Season 6. Congratulations to Mark Vickers. What an amazing championship run. Tyler Vickery will come home across the line in 2nd place. An amazingly good race for him as well. He had a little spin on the second to last lap. Great job for him to recover and still keep it drivable. And he comes home in 2nd. Great race for him. Huge run straight into the wall. 3rd place will go to Hunter Hughes, coming home in 3rd. Great finish for him. 4th to Michael Moore on his debut race here with Wednesday Night Dash. Great job from him to keep it smooth. And 5th to a very dejected but very well-deserving driver as well of all of his achievements for this season. It's Ian Miller who will come home in 5th. 6th place is going to go to Eric Richardson, who is also now actually coming around the back half of the lap as well. All of them on the lead lap. And 7th place will go to Brian McKinney. Unfortunately, not on the lead lap. There's Ian Miller about to cross the line. I know he wanted more tonight. Him and Hunter both did. But the one who got it all, it is Mr. Mark Vickers in the 84 Ferrari. Congratulations to him, and the donuts are well-deserved, my friend. Mildly anticlimactic donuts, though, on that grass, I will say. It's a little bit tough to get good donuts in the grass. And they stop. Wow. Wow. And that is the way that we finish tonight.
We'll grab a beer.
Holy smoke-a-rollies. Mark Vickers, Tyler Vickery, and Hunter Hughes coming up with our podium. Let's go ahead and pop them into our Discord chat here. Looks like we've already got Hunter Hughes. Let's go ahead and unmute. Mr. Hunter, how's it going? Can you hear me? Oh, looks like you're muted. Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It could have been better, but I'm not too upset with the results.
Yeah. Tell me about that incident that happened pretty early on in the race. It looked like you and Ian were going side by side through a corner that's definitely hard to do it through, and I think you maybe just kind of went a little bit too tight. What do you think happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I may have like I don't know exactly what happened, but from my view, it looked like that Ian just doored me off the track. But if he didn't, I don't want to throw any shade or anything. But
Yeah.
from my end, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because in that part of the racetrack, the road entirely ran out for him on the left side. So he was either gonna hit the wall or hit you, and it was kind of one of those. Well, he's probably gonna take you, unfortunately. At that point in the track, I've been in his situation. I've been in yours as well, and it's just so scary. And it's unfortunate because I was really hoping for a longer battle. But for you to recover from that to come home with a podium, what the heck, man? How did you do that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know because I also had a pretty serious incident with the turn one tire barrier. I
Oh,
cut the corner just a little too close, and then I like hit the tire barrier and it blew my tires across like my screen.
whoa.
So I somehow ended up wheeling it all the way back around the track to get to pit lane, and it was actually the same lap that Mark pit. So we were on like the same fuel strategy.
Oh, yeah, I remember when he pit. So you were limping the car back at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, for you to come out with those two incidents and still come home with a podium is absolutely insane. It shows just how strong your pace was this season. You're going to come home in third with the season in the championship. I think you did an amazing job. But going into next season, we're going into the ARCA cars. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I like ARCA, and honestly, Road has not been kind to me recently, so I'm kind of glad to get back into Oval. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I got my first win in this league in the ARCA cars, so
Hey, maybe it's time for a big championship. You never know.
maybe.
You never know. You never know. Well, hey, man, good racing tonight. Sorry that it obviously didn't quite go your way, but your recovery was incredible, and yeah, I wish you the best for next season.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, I think next up we've got Tyler Vickery. Is Tyler Vickery? He's still in the other chat. I'll go ahead and drag him in here. Give me 1 second. Well, hello, Tyler. How's it going?
I don't know. I'm irritated with the way these cars are.
Well, I mean, you still came home in second, which phenomenal job. That was absolutely gorgeous. For you to come home in second, with as you mentioned, like you're having some car troubles and just didn't quite feel like you were really jiving with the car. I think it's pretty phenomenal, man. You're holding the lead for a little while too, but it just looked like Mark just kind of had that little extra oomph tonight.
I probably should have just pulled off and let him pull away and let him burn up the fuel. But at the same time, it's like I'm trying to figure out what's going on with his cars because every car I've ran this entire season has just been understeered, everything. I ended up looking at the setups and fixed setups garbage. I'm no wonder why I never could be able to control it the way I want to control it, and frustrations throughout the whole season kind of did me into. So it's just and especially with Daytona pushing so hard, never got a qualifying lap in, got cut off on one lap. So never really could enjoy the Daytona, especially doing everything that I did here for the 24-hour race this year. So
Yeah, that's tough. But hey, you know what? A second place is still pretty dang great. Going into next season, you're obviously going to be into cars that you like a little bit more. What are you thinking about those? I'm guessing those are going to be ones that you drive with a little bit more.
honestly, I don't know. I'm still deciding on the season because I've tried those cars and they are, for me, I feel like a dumpster fire now. But I in all honesty, I have no idea.
Well,
I've been trying a lot of things, and I've just been like these last few weeks. It's the frustration's getting more and more to me.
yeah. Well, whichever you decide, I wish you the best of luck. I think you did a good job tonight, and yeah, I hope next season, if you end up doing it, is a better one for you. Thanks for racing tonight.
Yep.
Well, we've got our championship winner. We got our race winner. We got our star player of the night, Mr. Mark Vicars. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm glad Vickery didn't let me buy so I could burn up all my fuel.
Yeah, I saw you just tucking behind him. I was like, that's actually really smart to do that right now. I feel like you maybe would have been able to coast some of it, but ever since they did a big update and they got rid of the clutch being able to be engaged at any speed, fuel saving has become really hard in that car. So
yeah, so I was just holding on to a prayer, honestly.
You know what? Sounds like your prayers were answered tonight. Not only tonight, but also your whole season. That's your 4th win of the season. That's an unreal track record. Looking at your podiums, you literally only have one race you didn't end up on the podium.
Yeah, that was my first rage quit too, so I'm a little disappointed in myself for doing that.
Hey, you know what? It happens. For that to be your only blemish of the season shows just how dominant it was and how deserving you are of the championship for this season. So, man, congratulations. That is absolutely
Thank you.
unreal. Yeah, you were just lights out the whole season. So, well done. I really thought you were going to be untouchable from the first 3 races after you won those 3 in a row. I was like, oh yeah, it's done. But then some other people started coming back and getting some luck. So,
Yeah,
thanks for letting them have some hope.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much capped those first 3 races. I capitalized on mistakes by other people. Honestly, if Ian didn't wreck out, I think he wrecked out the first 2.
Yeah.
First 2 races, and then had a bad pit strategy the 3rd race. I mean, if he was on point, we wouldn't be talking right now.
That's fair. Well, you know what? That's what the rest of the other seasons are for, to see if stuff might change. So that being said, we've already talked a little bit about the ARCA cars going into next week for the ARCA cars. Next season for the ARCA cars? Are you excited for them? Are you scared of them? How you feeling? I
don't mind them. I mean, I'm not that great at oval. Like, tire saving is not my thing. It's last season, so I'm just there to have some fun. If I can pull a win, road's more my game.
Yeah. Well, you definitely earned it this season. Congratulations, man. And I'm excited to see what you can get done in the future.
All right, brother. I appreciate you.
Uh-huh. And then before I leave the interview booth, I see that DJ's in here. DJ.
Yes, I'm hiding out from an undisclosed location right now. Good to hear. It's so weird watching the broadcast from here and not in my usual position battling for last place. So I was pacing around, so much nervous energy, but congratulations, Mark. This was a very well fought season. We weren't sure what to expect going into this season. But it created some very entertaining races. We went to some entertaining places, and just you got your first win times a few. But congratulations! That was just very, very well done. Very even Ian, Hunter, Tyler, they just great racing all around there.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It was a lot of fun. It was interesting too because the lack of competition caution. Some people would think like, oh, it's going to make the field spread out a lot more, but I think it just made the comebacks even more impressive. And there were some pretty crazy comebacks this season. So yeah, to all you guys that made those insane recovery drives throughout the season, well done on those too.
And Eli, I have to thank you the last 2 seasons. You've said to me that you actually are going to be stepping down after the season. We hope you change your mind. We'll have some discussions later, but even if you do drop out, again, thank you for the last 2 seasons, but we'll be kicking the next season off July 26th.
Yes, we will.
Actually, from Daytona in the ARCA cars. And
yes,
these cars are no longer bulletproof. They do fall apart if you make contact with them. So, while last season produced some amazing racing, probably our best racing of last year, this year could be a completely different animal, as Tyler alluded to a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna get pretty wild. And you beat me to my segue. I was gonna talk about next season, and specifically the season opener being Daytona. It seems to be one of those tracks where, especially in a car that's as unstable as these ARCA cars, it just causes some of the most wild moments. Correct me if I'm wrong. Competition cautions will be back for next season.
They will.
Sweet. So that's going to make the big ones even more fun because you can always recover from them too. I like seeing those big crashes. That's just me in the spectator booth.
We had our super speedway race last year at Talladega, and it resulted in 4 cars within, I think, 50 thousandths of a second of each other, and Eric won that race by like 3 thousandths of a second. So if everybody is hanging in there towards the end, it's going to produce some amazing racing right from week 1. So if you're into iRacing, come sign up, join us, frracingonline.com/WND. And if you're not, please continue to tune in and watch. Really appreciate everyone tuning in all season.
Yeah, it's been a very, very fun season. I agree. And although this will probably be my last season, it's been an amazingly fun time getting to be here with you guys and spend every Wednesday night with you. Like, the racing has been so great. The community that you guys have is so just wholesome and fun. Everybody's there just to have a good time, and it's just, yeah, it's just a blast. Like, it's just positive vibes every single time. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed this, and I think that next season, going into these ARCA cars, you mentioned that the racing's gonna get closer, like really close. I'm stoked. I think to even be a spectator, it's just gonna be a blast. So, yes, and those for you guys that are looking to register for next season, remember the entry fee has been reduced as well. So definitely go check it out. It's a 10-race season, obviously, as we see, starting on July 26th and ending on October 18th at my home track, Phoenix Raceway. So yes, go give it a sign up there at frracingonline.com/WND. And it seems like this is going to be the sign off. DJ, any last words?
Again, like I said, thank you again for the last 2 seasons. This has been a fantastic experience. I hope all the drivers agree.
Yes, it's been a blast. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity. And to all you guys watching at home, thanks so much for tuning in. You guys are exactly why we do it. Y'all are absolutely wonderful. I wish you guys all the best. Peace and love. Keep making the world a better place. We'll see you guys around.